Hello, my YouTube friends. I want to welcome you to this exciting lesson in Revit and Advanced Steel. In this lesson, I just want to show you the similarities on how you can create a Haunch connection in Revit and Advanced Steel. So I'll be switching from one software to the other so that if there's someone who uses Revit, you shouldn't be discouraged. You should find it very, very easy for you to start using Advanced Steel. Also, for those who are using Advanced Steel, you should find it very, very easy for you to start using Revit. So we'll be switching from one software to the other. So if you like what I'm doing on this channel, please make sure that you like my video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell notification. And if there's someone who'd like to join me some courses, make sure that you check my website, skillmaxcad.com, where I've uploaded some detailed courses, for some AEC softwares in the industry. All right. So we are going to get started, and we'll start with Revit here, as you can see from here. Now, this is the small model where we're going to create a Haunch connection. If I just switch to Advanced Steel here, we have the same model, and I'll show you everything step by step. All right. So to get started in Revit here, as you can see, the first thing that you need to do to create a connection, and in this particular case, the Haunch connection, you just need to go to Steel tab there and click the small arrow right there. Then you can load all the connections. You can just pick the connection that you want to work on. In this case, it's Apex Haunch. I'll select on it and load it right there and click OK. So the connection is loaded right here. Now in Advanced Steel, we are here. You don't necessarily have to load the connections. You just have to make sure that, you put up the palette here where you're going to pick the connection. Now, when you open Advanced Steel, this is what you're going to see. So I'll just minimize this one. Or before I even minimize, you see that at the end under the tools here, we have what we call the building generator. Just make sure that you click on it. Then you'll be presented with the framing connections here. So minimize this one here, and just drag it and attach it there. So if you expand it here, you see that you have the Apex Haunch under the frame generator. You see that we have it right here. We are going to use it. Alternatively, you can just go to objects there, or actually home tab, and click on the connection vote. So you see it opens like this. I can minimize it and drag it and attach it there. So if I expand it, you see that I have all these connections. You can switch to the one you want, and the Apex Haunch is right here. So I'll minimize it right here. So now let's go back to Revit and see how we can add the Haunch connection right here. It's very, very simple. All you need to do is select the two parts where you want the connection to be, and then go to Steel tab and click on this option called connection. Just click on it. You are going to see the blue lines there with the dots there. That is the generic connection. Make sure that it's highlighted in blue. If it's not, maybe you click outside accidentally. Make sure that you select on it, and now go to the properties. Open it there, and now you're going to see the connection that you loaded. Just click on it and make sure that you are at fine level of detail to see the actual connection. So you see that you have the connection there. If I hold the shift and the wheel on my mouse, you see that my connection is right there. What is just remaining is now to change the properties for the connection to my design standard, or to how I've designed my connection. Now let's also do it up to this stage in Advanced Steel. So I'll just go to Advanced Steel right here. I'll zoom in here. Now I can use the connection vote, or I can use this other option. So I'm going to use this option by selecting there. And now click on the Apex single Haunch. I'll select on it. Now Advanced Steel, you need to select objects there. So I'll select this object. You right click, then select the other rafter and right click. And you are going to see the connection there. So I'll close first of all the properties. I'll show you later. You see that you have the connection, and I can also hold the shift and the wheel on your mouse. The same options. You see that I'm able to orbit like that. All right. So we are at the same stages in Revit and Advanced Steel. So I'll go back to Revit right here. Now let's edit the connection here. I'll select on the connection, and you can click on edit type right there. Now, a good practice is to simply duplicate it and rename it. It's Apex Haunch 2. I'll click on OK. That way, you are not going to disturb the properties for the default connection. All right. So now in Revit, you see that it opened a new window where now you can start, checking there. All right, you're not able to work in the background there, so this one will be frozen, so you can still check whatever you're trying to do within there, and that is the shift and the wheel on your mouse. So now you need to click on modify parameters, click on edit right there. I'll hold my left mouse and drag it here. Okay, so under the general there, we have the end plate. You see that the thickness, you can change it from there. If you want a gap between the plates there, you can change it. And all these settings are okay. I don't need to change anything in this particular case. I'll go to the next one, which is the haunch number 1. For this particular one, I'll make sure that I tick same for both sides, this one here, so that if I go to haunch number 2, I don't have to change anything. It will be changed within the first option there. So I'll start making some, changes here according to my design. Maybe the length of my haunch there, I want to change it to 500. Then click somewhere else. It will change like that. Then the height, maybe I want to have 200. Click somewhere else in a different box. You see that it changes like that. Then I can change all these, the corners, the curves, you can do as you wish. All right, then same section as rafter. This is how I want my haunches to be. And I'm done with this first option. So if I go to the second one, everything has changed. All right. I'll go to the bolts right there. Now in Revit, make sure that you switch to the metric if you're using metric. So if I click there, you see that I have imperial units there. So I'm a metric guy. So the first thing that I need to do is to go to the bolt type. Just click there. And I want to find X or X, select on it. Now you have the metric units there. I'll pick 16 millimeters. Then the bolt grade, I'll pick 8.8. And I'm happy with what I have. The horizontal distance, you can even check from there. I think it's okay. And I just want to have one bolt per side, as you can see from here. Right, then I'll go to bolt groups. All right, now bolt groups are very, very important for you to understand. So in this case, I have group 1, I have 2, and group 2, I have 2. So this means that the first 2 are in group 1 and the second 2 are in group 2. If I want to add more groups, I can add maybe, for example, 2. Click outside, you see that I have another group, but I don't need this. So I'll simply put a 0, click, you see it disappears, and this one is grayed out. Now, what this means is that if I go to the first group, start distance is the start distance for the first group there. Maybe I'll put 60 there so that you see how it changes. Click somewhere else, you see that it moves, right? Now, this intermediate distance is the spacing between this one and that one. So this is, if I want maybe 120, I can add 120. Click, you see that it changes. But I don't want this. I still want this one to be 100. I'll click outside. Now, the next one, this distance that you see, this start distance is from this bolt up to this one. So if I want maybe to increase this one to 100, I can do that. Click, you see that it moves. Now, maybe reduce the spacing between these two. Maybe I want to have 90. Click, you see it changes. And we have configured, the bolts right there. Okay, so I can go to the stiffeners. I think I don't have to change, anything here. The stiffeners are okay, and you can see this is a full stiffener. The thickness, you can see it from there. All right, the welds, I think all these are going to be fillet welds, as you can see. So I'll just leave it the way it is. If you want all round for end plate, for the end plate there, you can even activate that one so that you can make some changes. Special, I don't want to change all these additional plates. I think I don't need it. So I'm happy with my connection. I'll just click on OK, then apply, then OK, and you can see that everything looks perfect. Now let's do this in advanced steel, and you see that the options are exactly the same. I'll go to advanced steel here. Now to go to the properties, let me just minimize this because now I don't need this. To go to the properties in advanced steel, you just need to double click the box, this box right here. Just double click it. Right, now in advanced steel, we have extra options here. Before we go to general, we have the properties, we have the library, we have the joint design. We just want to go to the general tab there. We have the end plate. Again, you see that I can put the thickness here, And the same options are here as we saw in Revit. Okay, so I'll go to Haunch number 1 and make sure that same for both sides is selected, so that if I go to Haunch number 1, if I go to Haunch number 2, I don't have to change anything. I have to change everything here. Now I'll change this one to 500 the way I did it in Revit. I'll change this one maybe to 200, that is the height. It looks good. All right, so I'll go to the bolts. All right, so I want to change this one to 16 millimeters. Everything is okay. 8.8. You see, this one is 60, the horizontal distance, okay, between, the bolts there, this side and the other side. So now you can see that orbiting here is shift and the wheel on your mouse, just like we are doing it in Revit. So you can see that everything is the same. Let's go to the bolt groups. Let's see what we have. So we have 2 groups here. It's still the same as in Revit. So what I'm going to do, I have this one. Now, again, I said this first one, if I just put 60, I can add 60 here for the first bolt. Click there. You see that it's going to move like that. All right. So now the spacing between there, maybe if I change to 120, you see how it behaves. You see it moves down. Now for the second one, it's from this bolt going down there. Maybe I want to change this one. Maybe let me say 110. We see how far it can go. Okay, it looks good. Maybe 120. All right, you click there. Now after that, maybe I can orbit and check it to make sure that there are no collisions. Okay, now the spacing here, I can change it if I want, maybe to 90. It's up to the design. Now you see that, maybe let me move this one even further, 130. Click like that, and I'm happy with what I have right here. Okay, the stiffeners again, if you want, is still the same. As you can see, we have the full stiffeners. You can change it. If you don't want the stiffeners, you can remove it this side and also the other side. You can do this even in Revit, but I want the full stiffeners, so I'll bring it back. Okay, the welds, I'm not going to change anything. This will be fillet welds and all around for the end plate the way I did in Revit. I can do that, and I don't need to change anything under special. I can close this one and everything is applied. So you can see that the connection, we have it here in Advanced Steel, and this is the same connection that we have in Revit. So thank you very much for watching. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe there and make sure that you comment on what you want to see next on my channel.